The saddest part of making some of these longer videos is that most people won't see them. So I just want to give a bit of background as to why I believe so strongly that most people that are labeled with different disorders like autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, attention deficit disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, schizophrenic, manic depressive, like most people that are labeled with those things, it's because there are things inside of them that are either running amok. Okay, they've had situations and traumas that have made them react in a certain way. They've gotten trapped somewhere inside their behavior, or they actually just weren't really fitting a mold at the time. And because they weren't fitting a mold, especially so I saw this thing the other day that said that NASA wanted to find out how to make more geniuses in society and how to bring them into the world to do different creative pursuits, like creating technologies that we're not aware of. When they tested 5-year-olds, 98% of 5-year-olds display levels of genius. If they do it at 10, it was like 70%. If they do it at 15, it was down to 30%. And then by the time we were active and had families, we went and got a career, got a job, it was 2% of adults were considered genius because their creative potential was not tapped into, it was shunned and made fun of. And the reason why this is so personal to me is because the first things that were ever put on me from a doctor was that I had ADHD and I had ADD. I had counselors and therapists over the years say, hey, I think you might have obsessive compulsive disorder. I think you might have this and this type of attachment style. I think that because you hear voices in your head, because literally I can think of someone like my mom or a teacher or a movie character. I can think of that person and have a physical conversation with them in my head, and I hear them speaking to me. And so he's schizophrenic. And then as I got older, having to deal with all these labels and all these rundowns of my talents that were being put into a mold of I'm a problem, there's something wrong with me. At some point when I was zoomed out of all of it, I was going, I've always been like this. And despite the fact that I am like this, I'm very successful and creative. And I took a huge step back and removed the labels and all the things associated with them, which is 98% of your problem, from me. And once I looked at that remaining 2% of just the sheer essence of who I was, I realized that I had talent. It was intuition, it was creativity, it was authenticity and fortitude. It was this inner belief that it's just gonna work out if you keep faith. And what's been happening is that I'm releasing some of these videos from my personal experience. This is my story. You cannot taint my story. I don't even give a fuck if you want to try to taint my story. This is how I feel based on what I've experienced and what I now believe. And because I've had so many other friends and students and clients and family members that have had similar struggles to me, and that by finding this same belief system, they also healed. What's killing me right now is that some of you are defending these labels on you. It's like the image I'm getting at this exact moment is I look over by the swing set and a larger kid is beating the shit out of you. Okay, kicking you in the stomach, whacking you down, calling you names. And then I run over there to help you. And you stand up and say, oh, I can't believe you would help me. You don't even know what it's like to be like me, blah, 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 blah. This person, they should be doing this to me. That's literally the image. And there's so much anger, so much self-hatred and shame. And just by labeling yourself as going, I have a disorder, you have now taken on the fact that you can't create order, that you are chaos. You've labeled yourself as chaotic because you're disordered. It's all the inner work, and it's what we're saying to ourselves and the conversations we're having with ourselves in response to all the assholes saying stuff out there to us. And if you want to own that, that is your business. I think it's stupid. All directness. If you own that, it's stupid. You are owning something that's not yours. It wasn't meant to be yours. It's really, I don't think, anybody's. It's just that we live in a society that is still learning what compassion is.